27 degrees Sag. And we are broadcasting from the galactic center because that's exactly the degree that's in your chart. I just want to say hey to everybody. It is November 2nd. 2022, a lot of twos, a lot of twos. We're going to be talking about Feng Shui tonight, lots of tips, especially for November. Because you know what? If you are aligned properly in your Feng Shui, then you can handle everything else that's coming along in the month of November, especially the full moon total eclipse in Taurus, which is November 8th, the same day the elections are on. So we've got a lot of, I don't know what to say, but we've got a lot of harsh things going on. We've got a lot of clashes, a lot of combinations that really are not built to run smoothly. Let's put it that way. So we're going to be talking about that tonight. The moon is in Pisces, soft and romantic Pisces. But at the moment, we are having this Mars, which just went into retrograde, this square to Neptune that rules Pisces. And if anybody has a Pisces moon, you may be under fire right now or having a little bit of a conflict, but we're here to straighten y'all out. So there you have it. If there is some type of a confusion, where to find me, how it's going, I know that there's many people out there that weren't sure. There was a time glitch there, which link to choose, which banner to take. I'm sure you'll find me if you'd like to go on over to YouTube and just type in 27 degrees Sag, and you will find me. And I'm in the chat room. And the really fun thing about November is we do have a lot of opportunities to socialize, to really bring people together in a good way. So we really do need to set our intentions to do this properly, to do it in a way that I want to say, blends all of our belief systems and really put forth humanity and planet Earth first as a priority. Okay. So when I talk about what's up astro, I'm an astrologer. That's my first love. I started studying astrology at 10 years old. Yeah, well, it's been a long time. However, what I usually start out with is what's coming up for this particular weekend. And I have to say that this particular weekend, um, it's starting to rock and roll. So we need to kind of buckle up come Saturday night. So if you have anything important planned for Saturday night, I'd really like for you to just kind of think about exactly how much traveling you're going to be doing. Is there going to be groups involved? We have a portal that's opened right now that kind of reminds me of the danger zone. And you have to really kind of think about, do I really need to go to that big gathering? What exactly is going on, and really put yourself and your safety and your children and your family as a priority. So Saturday night is the night we're going to be buckling up for this particular eclipse, because already the air is going to be turbulent. It's going to be very erratic. We've got this happening because Venus, the love planet, is going to be in opposition with Uranus, and Uranus is retrograde right now. But this really starts some turn of events that perhaps we are going to be hearing about: inclement weather or shocks, or this could be earthquakes, this could be volcanoes, this could be hurricanes. This could actually be something that comes, maybe even a meteor that would come out of the sky. Really, it is really going to be intense. So when I talk about this weekend and date night and things like that, see if you can reschedule, see if you can put those things on hold, because it's really going to be one of those times where You never know what's around any corner, and the air is going to be unstable. That means that the air pressure is going to be unstable. And you know what that means? That means that your emotions are going to start to be unstable. Your perception is going to be unstable. You may be you may be thinking that everybody is understanding your conversation, and yet nobody knows what you're talking about and actually taking offense, and you didn't even realize that that's actually what's happening. But when all of this starts, it's just a culmination of this absolutely, I want to say it's just this harsh total eclipse that we have in store for us. And as we come around Saturday, we've got Sunday, daylight savings time in the United States comes to an end on November 6th. But I feel like there's going to be some, oh, I don't know, maybe some miscommunications in relationships. You could have, perhaps an appointment that you made for that particular day and someone ghosts you, or perhaps through no fault of their own could not show up for that. So I really want to kind of give you the, kind of a long yardstick and a little more compassion than usual for everybody, that is really trying to get through these kind of weird times. So was saying that, as we turn to Monday, people are really going to start, getting ready for the elections. They are going to, you'll see them out on the streets. This is the time when violent eruptions could be the name of the game. So I just want everybody to count to 10, no matter what you're confronted with or what the topic is. Everyone needs to take a chill pill because when we've got this full moon total lunar eclipse in Taurus at 16 degrees, it is going to come down to values, and it's actually going to have a basis in spirituality as well. What do you believe in? And this is going to be something that perhaps, may be taken to the next level. And so discussions like this are best kept at a minimum. If you want to go and vote, I say get out there, vote. This is our privilege. This is our right. And if we want to change things, this is the way we do it in the United States. And so we definitely want to give everybody a chance to vote and to really, I want to say, support the system that's in place at this particular time. We've got a couple of things that make this total eclipse difficult. And I want to talk about that because Uranus, of course, again, that planet of shocks and surprises and ups and downs, and it's electric. When you see electricity in the sky, you never know where it's going to go, where it's going to land, what it's going to hit. And Uranus rolls electricity. So anything to do, it could be a blackout, it could be anything that would really be happening at this particular time. I wouldn't be surprised. We've got Uranus that is going to be with this particular full moon. So that there is going to be some anxiety, some nerves, and people are really going to be tense. It's just that thick is going to be that vibe in the air. Mercury and Venus is going to be at an opposition with Uranus. So we've got all the love signs and all of this great stuff in opposition. And then we've got Mars, the action planet that wants to get out there and do something. That's in retrograde. And it's actually in a very difficult square with Neptune, it makes you confused. There's a lot of confusion going on. I don't know how this is all going to end, but I do know that all we have control over is ourselves. So for us to breathe, for us to be as aligned as possible, is something that we really do need to focus on. Um, the next day on November 9th, we've got the sun in opposition again to Uranus. So there's going to be still a lot of pieces hanging in the air, a lot of surprises, a lot of adjustments to be made. Um, all as I can say is that this is going to be a step by step process. I feel as though recounts are just a given, and I feel as though there's a lot of challenges that may seem like they're out of control for us to be involved in. But I think if we all gather together and really take it very slowly, chill pill, please. And, you, like I said, we all want the best. We all want the best for planet Earth and for ourselves and for our families, and to bring upon harmony and peace and prosperity. We want to prosper. We want the whole world to prosper. But there's specific fundamental values and laws that are up for question. And what I think needs to be done is take a look at the foundation, because the foundation is ruled by Capricorn. Capricorn is now in Pluto, getting ready to go into Aquarius. We're getting ready to go into a brand new transformation. And Pluto rules structures, it rules governments and corporations. And so, whatever is not in alignment for the future needs to be reconstructed. So, if we have that in mind, if we have to go through some changes or some adjustments, it's just part of the process. Okay. So, like I said before, being in alignment is one of the things that we can start in our own sacred space. We can align our chakras through meditation. Those are our energy centers, and we can do that very easily. But sometimes we're not sure of how to adjust our feng shui. And so that's why I'm here. I'm here to kind of go through the different compass directions for you. And I always like to say that these particular adjustments we have yearly, it's an annual adjustment that we have for feng shui. And then we have monthly. And this particular monthly adjustment for feng shui begins on November 7th. So that's right before this eclipse, right before the elections. So if we can get into alignment within our own sacred space, we have adjusted a third of our lives. And that's how important feng shui is. So I'm going to go through the different compass directions for you, the different alignments, what we can actually do, what we can be aware of. If you have never thought about your directions within your home, it's really easy. Now the smartphones have compasses in them. You can stand inside your front door and look out into the street with your compass in hand, and you can see what the facing direction is to your house. And with that, you can make a little floor plan and you say, well, if that's east, then what's straight across? West, right? So you can align that north and south. And it's pretty easy to kind of get the corners. And, this particular November adjustment on November 7th goes to December 6th. So we have this particular monthly adjustment here. And the luckier, the more auspicious directions for that particular time in November is the southeast, the south, the southwest, and the west. And in the families, basically, we've got the the patriarch, the father, and the matriarch, the mother. And sometimes one is a little bit more powerful or a little bit more auspicious, lucky, a little bit more heard. The voice is more solid or more present. And in this particular month, it is the matriarch, the mother. So we're going to go through that because the mother and the matriarch rules the southwest, and the father always rules the northwest. So we're going to be talking about that too. I want to say hi to everybody in the chat room. I know we're hard to find tonight, but hi there, everybody. Come on in. It's a little bit difficult, and I know there was a little bit of confusion as to the time of the show and when it was happening, but we're here. We're here and we're having fun. And so, anyway, here we go. Um, let's just talk about the directions that are so important that you really do need to know these. You need to know the direction of your front door. You need to know a lot of people don't use their front door, right? A lot of people use their garages or a side door, or even they come around the back door. Because sometimes the garage is maybe detached and they put their car in the garage and then they walk through a breezeway and they come in through the back of the house. So these are things that we really need to know where your energy pathways are in your home. Hey, Vonda, how are you? And Mr. Bill, hello. Thanks for coming in. So, if I were to put, a trail of glitter, how you enter, where you go, where is your room, where is the kitchen, the direction of the kitchen. Also, your headboard is very important, what wall your headboard is on. Because when you're laying down, your headboard touches the top of your crown chakra. This is where chi enters into your particular body. So we need to make sure that you're aligned. So if you don't know your proper alignment and what your best directions are, I've got a session in my packages at kimlalo.com. You can sign up and we can just figure all of this out for you. Or you can just make it very easy. Take your compass and whatever direction is in front of you, that's the facing direction. Okay. So we're going to be talking about each direction tonight. So if you know where your desk is and how you're facing, that's really going to help. In this particular month, we have a lot of compromised health, accidents, violence again, a lot of arguments. This really all goes, according to that erratic air that's really going to be around us because of our wonderful planet Uranus. Um, but I want to kind of start out with the South. The South usually rules fame and recognition. And in this particular month of November, um, we have the number six, which is usually a very successful, abundant, prosperous money number, and it's hooked up with our annual number 9. Now, when you do this numerology, it comes up with some good and yet some compromised energy. So, for your legacy, for fame, for what you're being recognized for in this lifetime, you are going to be drawing in mentors that are going to help you. You are going to be connecting spiritually with heaven luck. So if you are connecting with the angelic realm or your guides, this is a wonderful time to display angels, to display things on your altar from the heavenly realm. They are going to be coming in and really giving you some sound advice. However, what we do have also in the South, if we have, let's just say, our living rooms in the South, and we have the whole family there, young and old, it could be clashing a little bit. There could be some drama. There could be some arguments going back and forth. And this really kind of draws things to a boiling point. So, what I like to do here, especially for the number six, is just to keep things calm. And I do have, hold on, let me see if I can find it. Here it is. I do have a great example. Now, this is an abalone shell, and I have Swarovski crystals. I've got 6 of them for the number 6 that's going in the South. And then I have a round rose quartz to add the love potion. So to keep everything very calm, and any discussions are going to be harmonious in the South, because the South rules tempers, it rules hotness, passion, the color red, and some discussions may get a little overheated. So what we want to do is we want to ground them. So if you can see these, you can get the Swarovski crystals online or perhaps in your favorite rock shop or gem store. The abalone shell I've had for years and years, but you can put them in a bowl, however you see fit. But that's going to balance out the South. On the other hand, the Southeast usually rules the wealth. That's usually where we put a big tree and we collect our money at the bottom of it, because that's our money tree. And so we always pinpoint where the wealth sector is within a home or within an office. And so this particular month, we've got some good numbers. We've got the number 1 that's going to be in there. The number 1 is an earth number as well, an earth element, and it pairs up with the number 4. This particular energy is going to give you a wonderful boost for any kind of writing projects, or if you're blogging or vlogging or doing shorts on your video or your computer, or anything like that. If you're studying for anything, if you have to pass an exam, or you have some finals coming up, or your children do, this is a fabulous place for them to be studying in the southeast corner of the home. And when I say this, it's got this earth element to it. So if you have any pictures of water there, let's just say, the family at the beach, or beautiful paintings. We have beautiful paintings of the Pacific and the beaches and everything, that my husband Bill has collected throughout the years. So they really should not be in the southeast for this particular time, because it really could bring about a loss of wealth. So do mind that. We can make some adjustments on that. And just for this particular month until December 6th, and then you can bring them all back in. But this particular month is so intense that I really, if you were ever going to make adjustments of feng shui in your home, this would be the month to do it. We have so many other energies coming in at that particular time as well. So that's a great place. It's a good energy place for knowledge, for keeping your books there. For anything that, even if you're having some Zoom calls and you're giving a seminar or you're preparing a seminar, it's a great spot for that to happen. In the Southwest, we have, that was the matriarch, the mother. The mother is very powerful at this particular time. She's right on in her decisions. She's right on in the way that she sees situations perfectly. Um, if she would like to perhaps maybe wrap up a project in the Southwest, or perhaps she's working on something. A lot of people are working on some year-end projects that they need to get done before the end of the year. This is a perfect spot within the home to do that. If the mom wants to get a new job, or wants to perhaps just advertise a new, let's say, a new brand of something, anything that she wants to start up at this time. She's going to have a lot of good luck with that. It should come very quickly. And if you are sleeping in the Southwest, the the mother is really going to have more of a sound sleep, versus perhaps the father. The father on this one. We also have what's called the number 8 there. Now, the number 8, we're still in the period of 8, so it's really, really lucky for wealth. So if you'd like to get 8 Chinese coins and tie them together with a red ribbon and place them in the Southwest of your whole floor plan, and then you can do it of your bedroom as well. It's going to give you lots of opportunities that are going to open up for you that you never thought possible. So the number 8 is going to be in the Southwest. It pairs up with the number 2, the illness star that's there for all year long. But finally, we get a little bit of a reprieve in that particular area because it equals 10. We call it the sum of 10. It's a very lucky combination. And so we should really take part of that. So anything to do with the number 8 would be perfect for that particular area. Let's talk about the east. So if you are facing the sun, if you walk out your front door and there the sun is rising, that's the east, guys. It gets kind of easy, but when you kind of use your compass, our magnetic north has really pulled by, oh, I think by now, I think it's like 8 to 12 degrees, depending on where you're at. So it could show southeast, it could show northeast as well. But the east is ruled by family. And we've got the number 9 in there. The number 9 is a great number, especially for 2024. It's going to bring lots of prosperity. We're going into period 9, and I'm going to do a whole seminar on this. So this is going to be a wonderful, wonderful time as we jump from period 8 into period 9. But in this particular case, for the month of November, the East is going to be an area of conflict. It's going to be an area of hot topics. It's going to be an area that if you start bringing something in, or you want to surprise the family with something, or you want to go for a family visit and you're sitting in the east, or you're traveling east, it's going to start out pretty chaotic. I've got to tell you, you've got to protect yourselves. And in this particular area, the masters that I have studied with, they recommend what's called a cosmic red apple this year. Any round objects that are going to work, but round objects, really help promote harmony and balance. So if, let's just say, your dining room, because of Thanksgiving, your dining room is in the east, if you happen to put a bowl of apples in the middle of the table, you will not be you will not have all of these arguments or this chaotic affliction going on. So, and I know it's kind of simple and crazy, but this is exactly the energy. Now, remember, we're working really with elements and energy. So, any kind of adjustment in frequency, now everybody understands this because we're all trying to get, into ascension and to ascend in our frequency into 5D. But appreciate the mini miracles in your life and the mini adjustments that you too can make. And they're so easy. But yet, with the combination of the different frequencies, just like the shape of something or the color of something or the element of something really does make a difference. So that's why I'm here to kind of teach you and show you all of that. Mary Chris, hello. Mary Chris, how are you? Nice to see you here tonight. I do appreciate y'all coming in. Hello. Okay. Let's talk about the center of the home. The center of the home is the core of the heart. And it literally has a beat to it. It has a tone to it. And in this particular year of 2022, we have the illness star, the 5 star. It's a violent star. Um, and it's really probably one of the worst particular numbers you can have in the middle of the home. I have cautioned everyone and asked everyone to get a pagoda, and you can get this at worldofengshui.com, uniquefengshui.com, many places to have this. This is a pagoda. It's a 5 element pagoda, and it is to cure that particular affliction. But then, in November, we've got the number 2 that really clashes, collides with this really unlucky number plus illness within the center, the core, the heart of the home. And anytime we have any kind of illness within the home, I always recommend using a Wooloo. And if you don't know what a Wooloo is, you can PM me, ask me, and I'll tell you where to go to get them. I've been using them for literally decades, and they work. And they keep illness at bay. And they have small ones. They've got little, big ones. This is usually this is a little acorn type. It's a gourd. It's been called many, many different things. It's the red ribbon that activates it, and you put it on your bedside table. In this particular month, we really are going to put it in the center of our homes, along with the pagoda both, because it really is. I mean, it brings up, we call this char chi. It's like the worst chi you can really experience. And it brings in just freak accidents, violence. Um, people just people are not under control. Their tempers flare. Um, their bodies are filled with inflammation. It's really something that needs to be really looked at and adjusted. And so I really like to kind of give you the heads up on that. And if you have, let's say you have one of those open homes where like an open floor plan, and your particular living room or your energy center, where everyone gathers is in the center of the home, I would really like for you to bring in as much metal as possible. That would be wonderful. The element of metal is the one that really keeps that 5 star and the 2 star under control. So, and we can do it. It happens. It's cool. We know how to do it now, right? Okay. Let's talk about the West. The West rules your creativity. It's the place of children. Um, it's the place of where technology rules. It's a wonderful place where the tiger claims its home, and we are in the year of the tiger. So the West really is looked at in a most respected way. However, if we don't have control of the tiger in the West, the tiger will have control of us. And I feel like it's more or less happening in that way. And this particular year, I have asked everyone to really consider getting the wealth god and sitting on the tiger, controlling the tiger. So we do not have loss. We do not have all of these, expenditures and all of these things. You can be guarded by that happening within your home by simply displaying this in the West. And that is the wealth god riding the tiger. Okay. All right. This particular month, we've got some creativity that's really pouring out of everywhere. If you're working on something and you have a team and you're trying to maybe just like what we talked about in the Southeast, where you're trying to write something or be creative, even painting or songwriting or playing musical instruments or putting a collage together on computer or anything like that. The West is really promising for you, because this particular 4 and 7 star that's going to be occupying the West during November. We can put an elephant and a rhino, little figurines there. That's going to keep that place really lovely, protected from any type of theft, from any type of loss, any type of plagiarism. If you're songwriting and you're being creative or you're making music in this particular West location, and somebody comes up and steals it. I mean, that happens every day. You're working on, tech, or you're working on your computer, maybe in social media, and somebody just picks up all your content and runs away with it. So, for all of these things, the elephant and the rhino combination gives you a lovely protection from the animal kingdom, and they turn into power animals for you, and they actually work for you. The rhino keeps away theft. The elephant brings in protection, respect, honor. It also increases your memory. It's just a wonderful combination for that. Let's talk about the Northeast. If you are facing the Northeast, or your front door is in the Northeast, or perhaps your headboard is in the Northeast, or your desk at your office, if you come in one way and there's a door there for the Northeast another way, you are taking on these particular waves of frequency. And in this particular month, that 5 yellow star has flown into the Northeast, um, really kind of taking that beautiful annual 8 star and just chopping it up. And we're not getting the great power of that combination. We could be losing some money there. Be very vigilant there. I would say get rod a 6 hollow rod metal wind chime for that. You can also do the same thing with another pagoda there. That's the Northeast is a very hard place for if you've got children, if their bedrooms are there, they may be fussy, they may come down with the flu or a rash, or something, or a respiratory. And I always have little wooloos on all of our bedside tables, and I have asked all my family to do the same. But the Northeast is one of those places that if you can help it, try not to hang out there. Okay, try not to hang out there so much. Go to the Southeast or the West. Okay. Um, so let's talk about the North. The North rules career. Where are we going? How do we advance during these times that are so chaotic and so unstable? How do we get to the upper echelon? Um, just be aware that your expectations may need to come down and be compromised during this time about your career, and you may want, especially Mars, the drive, the action planet is in retrograde right now, and that's in retrograde in the communication and commerce. sign of Gemini. So in this particular area, it can bring about a lot of backstabbing. It can bring about a lot of um, people betraying you in your relationships, having to do with business, especially. It also has a way of bringing your value or how you see yourself down. Because if you are very tied into your identity of what you do for work, this could be a month where that's under fire, under question. Okay. So, what I like to do in this particular case, I don't have one that I can grab at this particular time. But there is a wonderful god of war, and he's called Quan Kung. And Quan Kung, I have him in my entryway. But Quan Kung is known for protecting. Every politician in the East has Quan Kung in their office, in their lobby, or on their desk, especially if you are into politics or law, because they protect you from all of that. So if you would like to find out how to get Quan Kung, he's very, very powerful, and he will protect you. He's very much like Archangel Michael, uh, but he's more of a warrior. He's more aggressive. And when you have him sitting on a dragon, forget about it. You're not going to have any problems with anybody. So if you're negotiating for a new contract, or let's just say you're setting up a new desk in a new area or a new office, look into Quan Kung. Hi, Ivy. How are you? So nice to see you. Um, I do appreciate you all coming in. There was a little confusion about the time. Some of the banners were done incorrectly, but I'm so glad you all found us. And thanks for coming in. Okay, so if you want to know more about Kwang Kung, you can just Google him. Let me just put him in the chat room. Kwang Kung is the name, and yeah, and when he is on his dragon, that's it. Hands down, you're going to win every time. So if you're, in a lawsuit, or you're trying to, negotiate something, the power is on your side. Okay. Um, so let's talk about the Northwest, because the Northwest is the core, the root of the father, the moneymaker. This is where the patriarch gains his strength, his honor, his courage, his bravery. This is an area where the deities, um, you know, ask to be placed within the home. If you have a home altar, this is a very, very important spot within the home itself. It's where it's where you have usually your mentors, your um the people who not only help you on planet Earth, help you in the Earth element, but they also help you from above as well. We have three types of luck in Feng Shui. It's the heaven luck, the earth luck, and the man-made luck. The man-made luck has to do with karma. And so, they always say you're making up for karma in this particular lifetime. So that's, your luck has been man-made. So we have earth luck, and earth luck is your contract, what you have, your mission, and your wisdom, and all of the opportunities and all of the lessons in life that you have gained. But the heaven luck is from your ancestors, and they sprinkle down this wonderful blessing. And that's why it was so important for the Chinese culture to honor their elderly and make sure that they were buried um, at a very top of a hill, a beautiful view, because if they did so, their ancestors would look kindly on them and pass along wonderful heaven luck to them. And this is how it all really started. Um, Okay, wait, what's the name? Okay. Okay, was that Mary Chris? Quan Kung. If you just, scroll up, it's right there for you. So, in the Northwest at this particular time, we have got the number 3, which, the number 3 can also be, another highlight or low light, depending on how you look at it with communication, because we're comparing this now. This is how I do my consultations. It's the yin and the yang. We're comparing this particular placement, the Northwest, um, with communications, and we know that Mars is in retrograde and that rules communication. So this particular time, I ask all of the patriarchs out there, if you're signing anything, if you're starting anything new, if you have a purchase agreement, if you're leasing anything, buying anything, well, if you yeah, if you need to go in over any kind of paperwork, make sure you have another set of eyes, and I mean certified eyes, on your paperwork. It's very, very important. You may miss something, or if it's your job to deal with contracts, or for you to make we're having a little static right here for the show, but we'll work through it here. But anyway, if you are in that particular situation, make sure that you take all of your contracts and you have them looked over, and that you are going to be I want to say I would put, and this is a very, very odd cure at this particular time, but if you have a set of cranes, they rule longevity and love as well, but they rule longevity. So if you could put, a set of cranes, birds, you can have, two mandarin ducks, you can have two peacocks, you can have two roosters, whatever you would like. But if you place them in the Northwest at this particular time, it's really going to give a lot of protection to the father of the house, and give him a lot more support, since the father is really at a loss for energy compared to the mother in the month of November. So, just a quick synopsis. The most auspicious or lucky areas that we have for November is the Southeast, the South, the Southwest, and the West. So I know you may want to go back over this particular show to really write down a lot of the things, that I have said. But, in the interim, it really is an intense month. And I wanted, I don't do it every month, but I do think it's just very appropriate for all of you to know what's going on in your particular sacred space, why you're getting sick and not getting, and perhaps or not getting the job, that was offered to you at that particular wage, and all of the rest of things. So if we protect ourselves, remember, Feng Shui protects and gives you the positive adjustment in 1/3 of your experience on the planet. That's a lot. That's a lot. So I want you all to make sure that you use these particular adjustments and corrections to the best of your ability. Okay. Because I know that once you put them in there, you're like, oh, yay. I've got that, and everything is great. So if you have any questions about, those directions or anything else, go ahead and let me know. If you would like to book a session with me on Feng Shui, we can work with your floor plan. I can give you your best directions. Anyone who's worked with me knows that, I bent over backwards to make sure that you know what your best direction is and that we align you properly, especially for this particular full moon total lunar eclipse in Taurus. We talk about the eclipse. We've talked about how harsh and chaotic and how the air is going to be very unstable at this particular time. Also, the elections, and also that there is a major negative portal. And when we say negative portal, what it does is it really amps up the violence, and it amps up conflicts and arguments, and all of that is taking place at this time. All right, everybody. If you have a favorite feng shui story, let me know. Let me know the results. I have so many of them, but when I get called in, a lot of times, um, the husband and wife are at odds, and they're wondering, everything was great until we moved into this house. And I have to take a look at their astrological charts, their astrology charts. I take a look at um, their Chinese charts. And then we start with the chart of the home, and we see what's going on, and also the best directions for the husband and wife. And I will never forget that I was called into a home, and the wife was, saying, well, I've spent so much money at Victoria's Secrets on all of this lingerie, and my husband isn't interested. He doesn't like to come into the bed. He doesn't like to come into the room. And I don't know what the problem is. He likes to just sit and watch his television, sleep on the couch. Well, when I came with the compass, and when I detected the husband's best directions, he had his whole 3 screen, speaker, the the cushy couch, everything intuitively he set up to his best directions. She went into the bedroom and set everything up according to her best directions, which were totally opposite of each other. So she felt very comfortable how she set the bedroom up, and he felt very comfortable how he set his particular man cave up. So we had to do a lot of convincing about how this works and supporting one another's best directions. And this is very, very important. And this is when you really do need to have, a certified consultant come in and give you the options and the opportunities of how to compromise and how to support each other in what you do to provide harmony within the home. Another thing is we've had a lot of children who were really not advancing as quickly as they could possibly advance. They were having a lot of trouble at night, not being able to stay in their beds at night, or perhaps bedwetting and crying and fits and restless leg syndrome, and just displaying a lot of the AHAD qualities. And so when we go into the bedrooms, I always caution the use of the color of red um, for children as well, positively, because red is a color that inspires, invigorates, sometimes agitates, but it provides a drive, and that's not what you need at nighttime. Also, very scary animals. Any kind of wild animals are not for the children's bedrooms. Not even, I mean, you don't bring a huge tiger, the face or painting of a tiger, into the home. And I've seen a lot of them. I've seen a lot of them, and they cause, they cause havoc within the home, and there can be a lot of ripping apart of family ties within the home. And so I wanted to make sure that you know about that. All right, we've got Joanne. She says, "Oh my God, thank you. Bought my teen red sheets. They'll be off in bed tomorrow." I red sheets. We do use them, and I'm going to kind of tell you how to use them. And that is if you're trying to rekindle passion within your particular marriage, you do have just the bottom of the red sheet. And Bill will tell you we have pink sheets that really bring in a lot of very soft passion between us. But that's to really kind of jumpstart. But it's a very I want to say yang color. So tempers will fly, and it's very hard to rest. So I suggest either white, um, something that's just very something that's not really going to lend itself to too much yin. Too much blue is going to bring about respiratory infections or sinus problems and things like that. Too much of blue. And a lot of times people like to do monochrome scales. In my certification of design, we take it one step further in Feng Shui. We design with energy. How is this, color scheme going to affect our energies in this particular realm? Wherever the Northwest is in your home, if you are building a new home, we really do not suggest you ever put the kitchen in the Northwest. So that's really called Hell's Kitchen. It's just a very, very dangerous place to have the fire element within the home. So if you have any of these types of things, you can book a session with me, and we'll go through all of them. Also for teenagers, no water in the bedroom, and that means surfing pictures or beach photos or girls in bikinis in in the ocean or anything like that. No aquariums or fish, turtles or any of that. None of that. And what that does is that promotes the teenager to leave the house before they're ready. So that's something else. And so you keep all water out of the bedrooms. Okay. Just so you know about that. If you have any questions about, Feng Shui or what you've got going on, put it in the chat room. I'd love to kind of see what's going on with you. If you have any questions about the eclipse as well, this is going to be one of those times where you got to buckle up. I said this in the beginning of the show. It's going to be starting this Saturday. So if you've got a first date this Saturday, or if you have anything that includes a crowd or a stadium or anything that would really bring about a lot of people gathering into one place. It's really the danger zone, I must admit. All of these are coming together to kind of make a perfect storm. And I want to just advise you that, you can always do it a next time, when things are a little bit more calmer and you're not facing perhaps something that may turn in a second into something that could be violent. Okay. Okay, any tips for office harmony? Yes, absolutely. Office harmony. Okay, office harmony. Let's talk first about how you're aligned within your office. If you have a desk that's pushed up to the wall, we want to pull that desk out and we want to sit behind it. And even though you've got wires or whatever with your computer, and when somebody comes in, they see the wires, we put a plant there. So on the back of your computer, so they don't see all the wiring and all of that. But for you to have control, if you ever go into a call center, or if you ever go into any type of corporate plant or corporate situation, all of the people who are, let's say, at floor level for salary, all of their desks are in cubicles pushed against the wall. When you go into the CEO's office, vice president, whatever, they're all sitting behind desks, because that's the power point. That's where the power is held. So if you get behind your desk, number one, you're going to have a lot more power. Number two, your chair, always have a very high back chair. This is success. This is support of the company. Someone has your back, right? The company does. Also, if you are a receptionist, let's just say for office, you walk in and if you are the one that I'm the first person you see when you walk through the door, make sure that the name of your company is behind you, up and behind you. Okay? Because what that does is it represents fame. And you will have that position. If you like that position, you will have that position for a very long time, because you will have the backing of the name of the company. So that's very, very important. What do you have on your desk? Well, we have to figure out what position you are. It doesn't matter what position the desk is in so much, because these days we can always tweak you and face you which direction is best for you. So in that particular realm, a lot of people swing from their computer over to their printer, or how your desk is set up. Another thing I like to do to have respect within the workplace is I like to display amethyst. Amethyst goes on the left side of the desk as a paperweight. You can do that, and that brings in a lot of respect, and also grounds in your work, so you don't appear flighty or missing deadlines and things like that. Make sure that your back is not to the door. I see so many videos, and I mean really spiritual people, and they're doing their videos, and the door is right behind them. So don't, place yourself where you can get like poison arrows in your back, or be, betrayed, gossiped, a lot of things. And if that's what's going on in your office, people are talking behind your back, I want to say make sure that you have, what I like is my rooster. You put your rooster, and it can be any type of rooster. It can be a picture, it can be a little figurine. I had a gal who had a beautiful blanket. It was a country blanket, but it had a rooster on it and some cows and things like that. But she put it on the back of her chair, and immediately it stopped. Immediately they let her alone, and the little chit-chitch and the bullies and all of the clicks and all of that just dissipated. So yeah, so the rooster rules the kitchen. So we always have a rooster in the kitchen. I have a couple of them, but they're very powerful. Okay. Let's see. Vada says, I have red silk sheets. Oh, wow. I'm sleeping alone. Does it matter? What about drinking water in the bedroom? You can drink water in the bedroom. You can have water, on your bedside table, that kind of a thing. That's not what I'm talking. I'm talking about like a big picture, or behind you, or a picture of you and your kids by the ocean. That's always a favorite. Or a lot of people, put those little table water fountains in their bedrooms. No, 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 Don't do that. That's just going to really bring in a lot of illness, respiratory especially, and loss of money. Now, the red sheets for you, if you're sleeping alone, can bring about agitation. I don't know if you're sleeping through the night or not, but that's a hard one to do if you've got red sheets on the bed. That brings up a lot of inflammation in the body. I would also think that that would wreak havoc on blood pressure. So, kind of wind down. There's a reason why white sheets are the go to, and that is because it is a metal element that really kind of calms you and it reaches the heaven frequency. And not that you can't have, fun once in a while. But as a staple, be very careful with the color red in bedrooms. What I like to use red for in office, Mary Chris, I like to have and I used to do this all the time. I like to have a red print or a red carpet underneath my desk. And, a lot of people have very soft shoes if they're at their desk for a long time or slippers but when you come back from lunch, it's always like, ugh, I think I'm going to fall asleep. And you rub your feet back and forth on that red carpet, stimulates you, activates you, gets that blood going, gets that circulation going. Is it holds true in the morning too when you're a little groggy and you're walking around and you're you're like, oh, I'm in a fog. That really helps too. So yeah, so shop for something like that. Very rarely will you find just a red carpet, but I found like I found red prints, kind of like antique looking red prints that are really fun and they really fit the bill. So anything red on your feet makes that connection and really wakes you up. So it's good for something. Red's really good for something. And, using red when we do some healing in the chakras is really fun too, to get that passion flowing and that kind of thing. But yeah. But okay, let's see. Oh no, Mary Chris. What does she have, a stalker? Wait a second. What happened? Wait a minute. Did I miss something? Okay. Okay. Oh, Joanne says, right now, every one of my kids seems to be in crisis. I've been saying something is going on astrologically. Well, it is. And this weekend is going to be that culmination. So if these kids are, like I said, if they are going to some place where there's going to be a lot of gathering or something like that, please ask them not to go this particular weekend, to kind of have a chill out type of weekend, because it's the type of electricity that's going to be in the air where it could turn violet in a snap like that. So I just, they're really at risk, and I really do want to promote harmony, safety, for everyone. So the kids, you have to understand, the children were born at a higher frequency than we were. So they're much more sensitive to this particular eclipse that's coming up. There's a lot of clashes. There's a lot of hard frequencies to balance out. It will balance out, all for the best, of course. But when it first happens, it's like, whoa, and they're feeling it coming up already. So they may be irritated. They may be picking fights with one another. Red is a color that should not be, worn or driven. No red cars, please, especially for teens that like to, have a heavy foot and kind of show off and all of that. But, actually, we have, I think I think the number now is up to 21 times we have accelerated in speed since I was born, which of course is a long time ago. But I'm just saying that these kids were born with a very high frequency. So not only is their intuition going to be sharper and more, um, more evolved than ours, but also they figure out things faster. Their band of thought process is faster. So yeah, so they're going to be getting pretty irritated, I would think, right about now. Anybody else that's an empath may be exhausted. I mean, absolutely wiped because they are feeling everybody's energy. Make sure that you rinse off your wrists, especially if you are taking on a lot of computer technology, electricity, cold water, every couple of hours on your wrists. Those are your wrist chakras right here. Takes in the electrical energy. You need to dilute that as it comes up into your heart, or you're going to start getting heart palpitations out of nowhere. And it doesn't matter your age either. So make sure that you cut that right off with the cold, with the cold water as well. Oh, everybody, I wish I could go on and on and on. Um, let's see. What of this eclipse and love and romance? Oh, okay. Okay. Well, we did a lot of the eclipse. Yeah, we did a lot of the eclipse energy. The Scorpio energy had more love and was more friendly. And that energy is going to hang in the air for about 6 months as well, depending on Scorpio energy in your chart. But what comes between that eclipse, the Scorpio eclipse, and the Taurus eclipse is Mars is squaring Neptune. Neptune sometimes gives us a fog, even though it's very creative and psychic and intuitive, and you can see unseen energy and things. But it also brings confusion. It brings a fog around us. So Mars squaring that is like Mars is really uncomfortable with this energy, doesn't quite know how to work with the fog. Okay. So a lot of confusion can be coming up about romance, about intentions, about actions that have been taken, words that have been spoken. So there's a lot of miscommunication going on as well in between these eclipses. Now, this Taurus particular energy is a lot about financial adjustments. We're going to be hearing about a lot of adjustments coming up with this Taurus energy. Taurus people, they're not really comfortable with change, so please have compassion for them. Hold their hand through it. They might hyperventilate a lot, have anxiety attacks. This affects their nervous system. This particular eclipse that's coming up with the opposing energy of Uranus, which is that electrical energy, the electronic field. Um, you know, uh, Taurus likes to keep things as they are. They believe in the tried and true past, and what's proven is how we should do things now and forever. And Uranus is busting through, saying we can't sustain it at that level. We've got to change. So we've got to cut a new path. And all of the galactics have arrived, by the way, and they're all watching this particular adjustments that are happening. I must tell you, there's going to be huge adjustments next year. I'll get into that. And then in 2024, we go into period 9. By that time, we will find a way to implement all of these new ways of living. And when I say new ways of living, there's going to be a lot that we're going to have to, balance out. Hello, Norella. Hello, how are you? So nice to see you. Well, we have really gone over time, and I really appreciate all of you. And if you would like to work with me, I sure would appreciate it. I also, and you can go to my website, kimlalowe.com. Lowe is LOWE.com. And in a final, I would like to say thank you and in appreciation to all of my feng shui masters. I have studied with Grandmaster Lin Yong for my Bagua, my Black Hat Sect certification. Um, Also, Lillian Tu, World of Feng Shui, for all of my advanced formulas. Thank you so much to Lillian too, and to her daughter Jennifer. They helped me so much on building my house back in the early 2000, and to get through, also to get us through the crash back there. And also Paul Young. Paul Young is my master for the Pachi charts, which is the Chinese astrology charts that I use as well. I studied very briefly with Joe Yap, but thank you very much for your influence for the Chiman um, dates and those particular formulas as well. And everyone that is interested in feng shui, it is my pleasure if I can cure your particular sacred space or find you a sacred space. Please let me know. I can refer someone in your neck of the woods. And as always, my thanks to my support system, Mr. Bill. He's always there for me, and we are luxury low team at Caldwell Banker, the premier properties in Ormond Beach, Florida. And if you have any other questions, please let me know. I wish you all the happiness and all of the best chi and your most gracious alignment when we come up to this total lunar eclipse. And until next time, may the angels protect you and guide you. Thanks, everybody.